They are the hardest natural substance and the most valuable to men. To the rich and famous, they represent power. To the poor, their desire to feel worthy. To the lovers, well, they represent just that. Do you have any idea what that is? My name is Casada, and my topic is about the war that waged in West Africa. I will be presenting information I researched from different sources that will give a different outlook on one of the most valuable items on the market in America. It has devastated lives, and I'll speak about what we have done and what process have been taken to help. So you may be still wondering, well, what exactly am I talking about? I am talking about conflict diamonds. There's more than one name you can call it, like war diamonds or blood diamonds. But throughout my speech, I'll be calling it conflict diamonds. They basically are diamonds that help fund wars. Now you're probably wondering, well, how can a stone so pure can shadow darkness on people's lives? Well, let's start by the history of the Civil War. For a decade, from 1991 through 1999, a small country called Sierra Leone was at war. It was a war raging against the government and rebels. The rebels called themselves the RUFs, which means the Revolutionary United Front. The rebels needed guns to start the war, which meant they needed money. Well, in West Africa, they had less of that. So diamonds was a way to buy in. So they did everything and anything they could to get diamonds. And so the war began. Now, according to CBS correspondent Bob Simmons' news report in 2001, which was called Diamonds, A War's Best Friend, he said that tens of thousands had been killed and hundreds of thousands was displaced. The rebels, they had no respect for human life. They raped, tortured, executed, looted, and even practiced cannibalism. I also watched a National Geographic documentary covered by Greg Campbell in 2004, which was called Blood Diamonds, Tracing the Deadly Path of the World's Most Precious Stones. He interviewed a survivor who said that each victim was part of an operation. And there was an operation called Pay Yourself, which was a looting spree. There was another operation called Not a Living Thing. And you can probably just about guess what that meant. Now, from this war, the mass majority was mutilations. That was a signature that the rebels left on their victims. So many children, women, and men had their limbs amputated. Now, if you ever hear people talk about Sierra Leone, they will probably mention as well the camp in West Africa's capital, Freetown, which is home to many amputees, such as babies. It is said that even babies under a year old has been left limping around. The ambassador, Juan Lorraine, who is the chairman of the monitoring mechanisms on sanctions against UNICEF, he said, quote unquote, "It has been said that the war is the price of peace. Angola and Sierra Leone has already paid too much. Let them live a better life." So what have we done, or what process have we taken to keep and maintain peace? Well, the answer is the Kimberley process. From my research on the Kimberley process background, it says it started when all the South African states that produce diamonds came together in a meeting in 2000. They discussed ways to stop the trade of conflict diamonds and to ensure that they were not funding violence. That process went into effect in 2003. And as of November 2008, it has 49 members representing 79 countries. These countries have agreed to the requirements to certifying shipments of rough diamonds, making sure they don't enter the hands of smugglers, and legally trade with only other persons involved in this process. Since the Kimberley process embarked, they have become an effective mechanism in slowing the pace of conflict diamonds. It is estimated that the conflict diamonds now represents a fraction of 1% compared to 15% in the 1990s. Wow, that goes to show that the Kimberley process is indeed doing their job. Now, in looking back on the previous information mentioned, we now have some knowledge on how diamonds cause atrocity to many people and what process was established to keep the peace and halt future wars. We ourselves can help individually. And what measures can we take in doing that? Well, one, I recommend that you avoid buying diamonds from individual dealers. And the reason is because the Kimberley process doesn't certify them. Two, before you buy a diamond, view the certificate of origin. Make sure it came from a legitimate area. And three, request to see a copy of the company's policy on conflict diamonds. Now, even though this may not stop all conflict diamonds, at least we will know that we are doing our part to continue to aid in keeping war from men and women and children in West Africa. I want to leave with you a quote from William Shakespeare's Cymbeline. The character Cymbeline asked another character, Jacquemot, "That diamond upon your finger, say, how came it yours?" The other character replied, "Thou torture me to leave unspoken that which to be spoken would torture thee."